Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. On this day of Mars, we have a waxing crescent moon. We are in Gemini season, the Celtic tree month of oak, deer season, and Pluto retrograde. The sun is in Gemini, mutable air, representing communication. The moon is first quarter Leo, fixed fire, representing enthusiasm, but not for long. At 2:16 p.m. Central Time, the moon will go void, of course, and it will remain void for the rest of the day. Mercury is in Gemini, mutable air, representing insight. Venus is in Gemini, mutable air, representing the spendthrift. Mars is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing purpose. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. Saturn is in Pisces, mutable water, representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, mutable water, representing imagination. And Pluto is retrograding in Aquarius, fixed air, meaning examine intention. And remember the mantra: reflect, heal, and evolve. So for the waxing crescent moon, we need to brainstorm, plan, and create. And once we hit that void moon this afternoon, some do's are rest, reflect, journal. The don'ts are big spell and ritual work, big decisions, and any business deals. So Mars, we know, is now in Taurus, and it is moving with purpose and determination. And the natural instinct of this energy is to get things done steadily and without delay. It's not hyper efficiency, but things are moving along at a proper pace. Now, the biggest snag to all of that is going to be this afternoon's void moon. So if you have anything of importance or anything having to do with work that really needs to be accomplished today successfully, try to get this done this morning if at all possible. Today's tarot is the sun, and it represents empowerment. Now, the source of your personal power, it lies within you. So have you given yourself permission to exercise it? We will find more often than not that when we think about obstacles to us coming into our personal power, exercising it, being in charge, taking the reins of our own lives, a lot of those obstacles come from inside our own minds and our hearts, our spirits, and a lot of false beliefs that are saying that we can't or we shouldn't or we're incapable. And so we need to take a good, close look at those beliefs today and see, how many of them are actually about proper boundaries and not being, this completely abrasive, jackass who's just, a menace to society. And how many of those limitations aren't actually necessary? How many of them are just about obliging people in power who have probably wandered past their own proper bounds? So something to think about, and this, because it's the sun, we have plenty of illumination in which to examine these questions. Now, today's Celtic triad reads: three who will become pleasing to the mighty ones. And as a reminder, the mighty ones in the Celtic triads, that is referring to the gods. So, three who will become pleasing to the mighty ones: a faithful teacher, a good husbandman, and a mediator in disputes. So, faithful teachers, those are teachers who educate, not indoctrinate. We have precious few faithful teachers. The ones who are out there, you are worthy of our admiration, our respect, and our gratitude. It cannot be easy because, when you are operating in this sea of poison, it must get very difficult not to be infected with this improper desire to just try to indoctrinate children into these prepackaged opinions that, just so happen to align with your own. It is a difficult time for good teachers, so we should respect the ones who are doing their jobs. And if necessary, a lot of parents have needed to step up and they have needed to become their children's teachers because I wish we were living in a society in which we had at least a common understanding about the boundaries of what should or shouldn't be taught in school, but that isn't our reality. So kudos to the parents who are rising to the occasion. Then a good husbandman, one who cultivates and cares for the land. And there's a lot of different directions we can take this. We don't have to limit its application just to those for whom farming, ranching, agriculture generally, that is their job, that is their profession. Absolutely, they are very important, and of course, their work in and of itself is very pleasing to the gods. But if we are gardeners, if we are people who, whatever industry that we're in, that we're trying to do it diligently and carefully and properly, that is pleasing to the gods. Being that conscientious worker, that effective person, that is pleasing to the gods. They do like competence. And the mediators, people who seek to settle matters satisfactorily to actually restore peace, not the appearance of peace, not bullying one person into just kind of shutting up about their complaints, but actually dealing with an issue and then peaceful relations and even friendship being restored after that. That is a very high calling. And it's difficult to do because right now no one is really incentivized to come to any kind of point of reconciliation when problems arise. People, uh, we thrive on drama in our society. We thrive on, I said a hard line and I'm not putting up with them ever again. Well, okay, there is a time and place for that, but what if it's your member of your family? What if it's one of your children? What if it's your spouse? What if it is any kind of personal relationship in which it would be much better and much more beneficial if there could be a reconciliation of some sort? So, there's something to be said about keeping families together, maintaining friendships, and not disrupting community bonds. Today's magical intention is imagination. The color is gray. The plant is the jasmine. The animal is the otter. And the crystal is aventurine. Imagination is the key to all manner of problem solving. It's also the key towards any kind of forward motion in life. If we're going to, go from where we are today and to somewhere else we would prefer to be, we're going to have to imagine what that looks like. We're going to have to imagine what steps we can take. And then we actually have to get off our backsides and do the things and follow through with those steps and bring ourselves closer to those goals with our actions. But it always begins with the imagination. So it's not something for us to neglect. So for today's pagan practice, it is a good day to honor a sovereignty deity, to work on your solar plexus chakra, to learn something new about your Mars sign, to learn something about one of your fears. We can't educate ourselves out of all of our fears, but sometimes by learning about something that scares you, that familiarity, it lessens the fear. You have a little bit more context. It's not so unknown, so unfamiliar, and sometimes it gives you a different perspective to where your fears becomes more manageable or even goes away. For example, one of my fears that I've had since childhood is towards snakes. My first encounter with a snake was with a baby rattlesnake. I was 6 years old. I was by myself. And when I got away from it after it tried to get me, I was screaming for my parents, and nobody heard me. And this went on for such a period of time that I was beginning to think, can I get from, my little perch? I don't know why I thought I was safe where I was, but, 6-year-old logic. I had my little spot where I was, where I thought I was safe, and thinking, can I dash across the lawn and get back into the house and be safe and get away from and make sure I'm away from the snake? And so, that kind of experience that tends to leave an impression on a person's mind, especially if being so young at the time. But one of the things I have been consistently trying to do over these years is to learn about snakes, not just distinguishing between the venomous and the non-venomous varieties, but just learning more about their behavior and how they function. And the biggest help to that has really been the YouTube channel Snake Discovery. I got hooked on their egg hatching videos. I don't know. I guess anything that's a baby is cute, even if it's a snake. And they have been gradually educating me. And I've seen the way they handle snakes, the way they behave with them. It's taught me a lot about snake behavior. And it's just given me an insight that has rendered a fear that was a really massive phobia into something that's a little bit more manageable. So, maybe in a few years, I might be down to a level of just reasonable caution instead of hysteria. Wouldn't that be nice? But the point is, progress is made. And whatever your personal fears are, you can probably make progress in dealing with them as well. And the last thing we might do today is to read a passage from The Art of War. It has invaluable counsel for how to manage conflict, no matter what form that conflict is taking. Last for today, we have our journal prompt. What is the state of your personal confidence and what can you do to improve it? It's not easy to maintain confidence. It seems like we either have a lacking amount or we have a massive over amount, and it's very hard to keep it within its proper range. But looking at our confidence, seeing, maybe we shouldn't doubt ourselves too much. Maybe we should look at failure a little bit different to vote. Well, okay, I didn't do that particularly well, but it got done. Maybe it isn't, the absolute end of everything if we weren't particularly good at something. Maybe we can look at our challenges and our obstacles more so in the spirit of what can I learn from this? How can I work on this? How can I improve? And then, we can start growing in confidence because whatever the outcome is, we're going to be okay. So that's what I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And I will see you guys tomorrow with the next edition. So see you then. Bye.